This affects all of crypto, not just Ripple and XRP holders. The Fed is actually doing it, holding a meeting as we speak to discuss a new type of payment account model that would give fintech and crypto firms limited access to the payment guardrails without full banking privileges. How does this affect Ripple XRP specifically? We're going to talk about a little bit more in a moment. But guys, gold and silver is dumping while Bitcoin is pumping, at least at the time of this recording. And we're going to jump into the charts because London is in full-blown panic, shorting paper silver as we speak in an attempt to force silver long positions to close. But for anyone who knows this rotation, we are not freaking out because first comes gold, then comes Bitcoin, then comes the crypto bull run in a baby carriage. We have got this and so much other epic breaking crypto news to share with you today. As always though, welcome back to the channel. I'm JR, your favorite crypto dad, and you know what to do. Give me a comment 777 down below if you're feeling bullish, if you're feeling blessed, and you're ready to live your best life. Smash that like button, hit subscribe to affirm it, and let's run into the video.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes, eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrustCapital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrustCapital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
Bo knows, but does Bo know Bitcoin? One thing we know is that when gold and silver are dumping and Bitcoin is pumping, it is a rotational pattern that we have seen time and time again. Phase 0 is gold, phase 1 is Bitcoin, phase 2 is Ethereum, large caps, altcoin season. And it looks like we're watching this money flow because smart money knows what's really going on with the economy. And coming out of the Kobeissi letter, goods inflation is trending higher, 2.6% year over year in September. That's the highest it's been in 2 years. We're also seeing the largest gap between home buyers and home sellers ever recorded. That gap is over 500,000 as reported by Redfin. In June, there was over 508,000 more U.S. home sellers than there were home buyers. Credit card delinquencies, excessive credit card delinquencies that are over 90 days past due have hit their highest level in 14 years. The Fed has pumped another $2 billion into the banking system. The self-correcting facility reveals real-time cracks in the banking system. That's a total of over $15 billion in 4 weeks, a frequency many consider to be worrisome. And margin debt spiking in September, 6.3% to a record $1.13 trillion. Since April, margin debt has spiked 39%, the biggest 5-month gap since October of 2021. We know what happened in November of 2021, S&P taking that big dump. But if you look back at the historical patterns, being a possible indicator of future behavior and future outcomes, as they could very likely be, we've seen margin debt spiking in March of 2000, a 50% drop in the S&P after that. July of 2007, 56% drop in the S&P after that. May of 2018, October 2021, and here we are currently at the highest ever, September 2025. When the cracks appear, the hedging takes place, and we're seeing that liquidity flow into Bitcoin. Guys, what an amazing time it is to be alive right now, to be watching this Crypto Payments Innovation Conference taking place here with Governor Chris Waller announcing that the central bank is proposing a new type of limited access master account. This topic of a master account has been thrown around a lot in the XRP community. We are no strangers to it, but essentially this new master account, Light as they call it, would allow the Fed to green light innovative banks, including fintechs, stablecoin issuers, and other payment companies. It could also speed access for companies like Ripple and Anchorage, which applied earlier this year. And no doubt about it, crypto is pumping on this news. We will jump into the charts in a moment here because we don't buy the news and sell the rumors, but more epic breaking news is coming out of Altcoin Pro University. That link is down below. Stick around. We'll talk about it more in a little bit here, but Coinbase.eth buys Kobe's up-only NFT for a whopping $25 million. What is the up-only NFT? Well, Kobe, short for Crypto Cobain, is one of crypto's most influential figures, a legendary early Bitcoin and Ethereum investor, podcaster, and cultural icon. He co-hosted the Up Only podcast, which became the crypto show of record during the 2020-2022 bull run season. Now, Coinbase.eth has acquired Kobe's Up Only NFT for $25 million, signaling the return of Up Only, but this time fully on chain. With Base now more focused on consumer apps and Zora pioneering on-chain streaming and creator tools, this could mark the next evolution in decentralized media. We're talking about ownership on-chain, content distribution through Base, monetization via Zora's NFT and streaming infrastructure. That's really cool news. For more breaking crypto news and market updates, altcoin picks, DeFi yield picks, I'm going to encourage you, check out that link at Altcoin Pro University down below. But let's jump into the markets. A quick refresh at CoinMarketCap is showing that we are at $3.81 trillion for the total market cap of cryptocurrency. That is up significantly since yesterday's 3.7. We're at a fear and greed index of 33, and we are at an altcoins season index of 28. Altcoins market cap continuing to trend upward. $1.55 trillion total market cap for the altcoin sector. Now, moving into the charts, this is where it gets really exciting. Look at the Bitcoin chart on the daily chart, this massive green candle. But if you zoom in a little bit more, you're going to see this giant wick that came all the way down to about 107,500 earlier today. That is on today's daily candle. We have seen a massive run in Bitcoin from the daily start. Let's go all the way up. We're looking at a little over 6% just on today's candle. But here's the fun part. Where is that liquidity coming from? It does appear that it is coming from these big giant red candles on gold and silver. There is obvious gold and more so silver manipulation taking place with institutions trying to short silver and force those longs into liquidation. Especially on silver, we know that the paper contracts outweigh the physical ounces of silver at a ratio of something like 360 to 1. A big problem for institutions that are not holding physical silver. But let's get back into crypto here. Looking at Bitcoin, more exciting than the little pump that we're seeing right now in at the current time of this recording. And again, none of this is financial advice, so don't run out and buy gold, silver's dips, Bitcoin, anything, XRP, because I'm talking about it. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and these are my charts, not yours. So hopefully they are just going to help you see a more well-rounded perspective of what's going on. But specifically talking about Bitcoin, why I'm more excited about it is because this red bar, for those of you who are watching this video, I'm talking about this red bar. For those of you who are listening to this video, I'm talking specifically about a zone from about 109,600 up to 112,500. And why am I talking about that? Well, because that is the area that was support for a long time. Looking back from the downward trend after the early October pump, that was support that became resistance. And breaking back through it, if we can flip it into support, that would signal the bullish trend moving upward. That would signal a bullish divergence, just like this RSI down here, which has crossed over its own moving average, which is a bullish divergence. So we are seeing the bullish momentum on Bitcoin. We're going to see that in the rest of the markets as well. Ethereum breaking back over 4,000 at the current time of this recording, and also displaying that bullish divergence on the RSI. We're going to see this as we've talked about Bollinger Bands and John Bollinger coming out and calling the bottom on Ethereum and Solana just yesterday. The last time he did that was in September of 2022 at the lows. We've watched Ethereum run from about $1,200 up to $4,000 since that time, and he's calling the lows on this. This is not something that he takes very lightly. He doesn't make predictions. He just looks at data, and that is absolutely where my mind is at when it comes down to it. Look at the charts and trust the charts. Are we about to see a massive run in altcoins like ETH and Solana? No doubt about it. Solana is still chopping inside of that narrowing wedge. That's extremely exciting that we haven't broken out of it to the downside yet, and we've got bullish momentum. And again, there's your RSI bullish divergence crossing over its own moving average. DeFi protocols, Aster and Plasma, finally starting to grab some gains. Plasma making about a 7, almost 8% run at the time of this recording. And now we move into XRP, which has broken back above $2.50. We've got a little bit of room before we can call this thing bullish again, but it has, the RSI has crossed over its own moving average. That's bullish divergence. We've got some resistance, pretty heavy resistance, about $2.60, $2.61. We've got to break above that and flip it into support before we can call this thing moving again to the upside. But there is so much bullish news on XRP taking place right now, especially with the Fed meeting that's happening. Apparently Trump might be coming out later, and depending on what time you watch this video, that might already have happened. Trump may be coming out and making an announcement around cryptocurrency. The government shutdown looks like it may be in talks to end this week, and if that's the case, we're going to see the SEC turn back on and start reviewing the applications. However, many of you may realize a lot of the ETF applications for XRP and a handful of other coins out there, those have actually been retracted because of the new fast track quick approval process applications that they've put in place. But we need the SEC to turn back on in order for those to move forward. XRP kind of sets itself apart with these ETFs coming up. It's been more attractive than many other cryptocurrencies to stock investors and retirees right now. And with that being the case, you may see more of an influx, more inflows into these ETFs. And again, this is just speculation. It's just who's holding XRP, and predominantly the demographic of that is retirees or people nearing retirement, people that are more heavy in stocks and less in crypto. And it's because of the fintech, they're a little bit more attracted to it. If that's the case, and if that holds true, we may see inflows that surpass the Bitcoin ETF inflows. And if that's the case, we could expect to see some price movement on that. Again, one day at a time. Don't buy the news and sell the rumors, right? Let's focus on the charts. But the charts do say that we are in an uptrend right now. We've been calling a dip for a while, and historically, these 4-year patterns, whether it's a 6-year pattern or a 5-year pattern, resetting itself, doesn't matter. These 4-year patterns have played out time and time again, and it looks like that is where we are at. For those of you who are preparing to make your moves, you're wondering what you can do next, or for those of you who have already stacked up a bunch of XRP profits and you're wondering, maybe should I start pulling some profits here, around $2.70 or retracing $3.35, something like that. You got to make good decisions, and you got to have a solid educational foundation for those good decisions, and that's why you need to listen to this right now.
If you have 10K or more in crypto, you're literally giving up an extra $300 per month in passive income. You're giving up on a free 3 to 8% additional monthly yield just because it's sitting on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance, and you're being lazy. You're taught to hodl, just wait for price appreciation, and this is costing you thousands of dollars. So let's see what happens here. While your assets are sitting there doing absolutely nothing and inflation is kicking your ass. For example, Ethereum didn't do anything over the course of 3 months. XRP didn't do anything over a whole year. And Solana, same thing. It didn't do anything for an even longer period of time while you sat there making no money. And I'm not saying that these are bad investments. It's quite the opposite, actually. But the smartest investors in the world make their crypto work for them to generate additional yield. And why would you not do that? You're holding these crypto assets anyways. It's like buying a rental property and not renting it out. If you hold on to the property because you believe that it's going to appreciate in value over years, why wouldn't you rent it out so someone else can pay your mortgage while you still get the value appreciation? So it makes no sense to just hold your crypto without earning yield on your idle coins. And if you're just holding your crypto on exchanges like Coinbase, your assets aren't safe. In fact, Coinbase was hacked for $400 million, and the hackers bribed Coinbase employees so they could access sensitive user information, demanding a $20 million ransom from Coinbase, which the company refused to pay.
I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no. We are not going to pay your ransom.
And I even received a letter in the mail saying that my information was included in that hack. So I'm speaking from firsthand experience here, not just an article that I read online. So not only are you leaving free money on the table by not earning yield on your idle crypto, but you're also putting yourself at risk of losing it all, getting hacked, or having your account frozen by keeping your crypto on centralized exchanges. Because if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. You already know this, so I don't have to tell you. You can't afford to be lazy with your capital. The US is drowning in nearly $40 trillion in debt. So this is your insurance against the system. To learn how you can earn passive income on your coins every single day while protecting your capital from hacks or scammers, my research team put together a step-by-step tutorial for you to start earning yield on your crypto today. And it takes less than 10 minutes to get set up. All you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com after you're done watching this video, create your account, and click on the Start Here lesson under the classroom, and you'll discover how one liquidity pool is earning our members up to 40% yield on digital assets that they already own. Plus, you can go into the DeFi yield picks and see even more opportunities to earn passive income on your coins safe and predictably with complete control and ownership of your assets. You will make significantly more money by being your own bank. And all you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com to get started right now.